is Friday, October 25th, 2019, and I am your host, Kim Bettina. And today I have on my show Mr. Michael Fricano from Honolulu, Hawaii. Hi, Michael.
Aloha. Hey, Kim.
So, Michael is a K-6 technology integration specialist and he's a K-3 technology teacher. So, he has his hands full throughout technology integrating for all classes K-6. I'm right there with you, buddy. It's all good. It's all fun.
Yeah,
So,
it's a fun kind of busy.
it's definitely a fun kind of busy. So, Michael, we have him on on my show today because he created the Google Street View course for K-12 educators and for the classroom. So, I wanted him to talk about his course, how you can sign up for it, what the purpose is, and what you'll learn, etc. So, Michael, I'm going to let you take it away because you know best about what you want to say about this course.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Kim. It's great to be on your show. I love listening to it, and I'm excited to be a guest speaker.
Well,
Kim,
it's always fun having you on,
Kim and I go way back. We know each other from the product experts team. We've seen each other at a bunch of events. It's always fun getting to hang out.
Yeah,
And
the last time we were in New York for our product expert summit, we took a tour through New York and we captured
yeah,
some 360-degree pictures of the area where we were. So that was fun, and I learned a lot from you at that time. So it's always good. And Michael was nice enough to ask me to help him pilot his class, his course.
yes,
So I
thanks.
was actually able to benefit from it as well. I learned a lot through that course. I think it's very it's beneficial. It's like a hidden gem. I don't think a lot of people know that Street View is even there because we have so many other geo tools that are around. So Google Street View is like a hidden gem, if you call it. And it was very beneficial. A lot of good information. Michael is a great facilitator. He goes slow. He explains everything, what you're going to learn, and it gives you hands-on activities to practice with as well. So
Yes,
I would
thank you.
highly
Yeah,
recommend it.
thank you. Thanks for beta testing it when I first rolled it out. I really appreciate your support. And yeah, so yeah, I'll talk a little bit about who I am and what I do, and kind of dive into what I've created for educators. So I'm a K6 tech integration specialist. That's my day job. It's what I do by day. But my passion is working and helping with my colleagues, with educators. So I present at a lot of conferences. I've led my own workshops. I do a lot of local work here in public and private schools. Um, my specialties range from Google for Education. Been a long time. I'm a trainer, certified educator. Um, uh, I work at a one-to-one iPad school, so I've got a lot of experience in using iPads from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And the past 4 years or so, I've put a lot of focus into the use of, and more specifically, the creation of augmented reality and virtual reality in K-12 classrooms. Um, I see as an ed tech specialist and an ed tech enthusiast, I'm always out there looking for the newest and greatest ed tech, and I think AR and VR has tremendous potential. I think it's already, we can already see it with things like Google Street View and Google Expeditions and other non-Google apps like CoSpaces EDU and Merge VR or Merge Cube. There's some tremendous, amazing potential with the tools, and I've been exploring the use of all those tools in classrooms and working with students and teachers and sharing a lot about my experiences and the projects that I've led. Um, and well, one of my go-to. So when I share about VR with teachers, and I talk to them about how VR, it can bring your students anywhere that you want to bring them. Basically, you can take them all over the world, into outer space, into the human body. There's lots of experiences where you can take them back in time and you can take them into the future. And there's lots of connections to pretty much any content area, any subject area. Um, and so when they approach me or I'm sharing with teachers, my first go-to VR app is Google Street View. Believe it or not, there's lots of great apps out there, but Street View is the first app that I turn to. Um,
And quite honestly, Michael, since I took your course, I've been using it more than I've ever been.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, and I'm trying to integrate that in with my technology class too with students. So it's yeah, I'm glad that you're doing this because like I said, I think it's definitely a hidden gem. People just don't
It is.
know it's there.
And the funny thing is that I think for most people have experienced Street View before. If you've ever used Google Earth or you used Google Maps and you're looking for directions to a place in Google Maps, it typically gives you a Street View image. A Street View image is a 360-degree a panoramic image that places you on the street in a first person perspective, and it allows you to see, if you're looking for like a store or a restaurant or a building, that Street View image gives you a visual perspective of where that place is and the landmarks that are surrounding it. That was sort of the the goal or the gist of Street View, so that you could see where you're going, so that you can literally see, and in most cases you could virtually travel down the road to see what turns you have to make and see what landmarks there are and what streets you're on. But now Street View has ventured out beyond the street. It's sort of misleading. It's called Street View, but it's not Street View anymore.
It's like
Uh,
more, right?
yeah, you can go up to Machu Picchu. You can go down into the Great Barrier Reef. You can travel inside a volcano. You can go up into the International Space Station. It's sort of like I don't know, universe view. You can practically take yourself and your students anywhere with the Google Street View app. And so we experience Street View in Google Earth and Google Maps, but there is a dedicated mobile app experience for Google Street View. It's called Google Street View, and you can find it for iOS and for Android. And it's all of the 360 Street View content that you find in the other Google Geo tools, but it's all packaged together in one place, and it's purely 360 imagery from all over the world. Um, and it's Google, so it's completely free. It's free to access. You can connect your Google account to it, and I don't get too much into it with this course. I'm developing another course for this specific creation tool in Street View, but with the Street View app, you can actually create your own 360 images with the mobile device that you have in your pocket. Your phone, your iPad, your Android tablet can be a 360 camera just by using the Google Street View app. And so because of that, the content in Street View is exponentially growing because it's all user generated. It used to start out with just the Google Street View team taking those 360 pictures, but now that the app allows us to take those 360 images ourselves, there are, I'm not even sure what the count is, but I can imagine hundreds and hundreds of thousands of 360 images all over the world created by people like you and I, and in some projects that I've done, created by students as well. And they're making that content available for other people to access.
So you mentioned that you can use Google Street View and create your own panoramic images. Do you
Mhm.
need a separate app for that, or can you do that right within Google Street View?
That's all right within the Google Street View app. So there's a built-in camera tool in the app that allows you to take what the app calls a photosphere, which is a 360 image um, with the standard camera that's on your mobile device. And so,
Okay.
yeah, and so you're able, you can, if you have a specialized 360 camera, there are ways to connect those special cameras to the Street View app, but most of us don't. We just have a phone or a tablet. And so that device that you already have with you can be that 360 camera. And so because of that, it's a majority of the content you see in Street View, it's all user generated. It's got, there are names attached to it of just, you know,
Just
your
people
average
going
person,
on vacation.
they're either on vacation and they're taking 360s, or they live there and they're documenting their community, or and sometimes it's like a tourism company that's creating the content for their business, or it's a photography company that's taking those pictures. But it's, it's random people all over the world that are generating that content for us to be able to access.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's like unlimited, really. It's
Pretty
unlimited
much.
resources, really.
Pretty much. So when I talk to teachers about it, I like to tell them that I'm about 90 to 95% sure that you could take your students anywhere you want in the world that's connected to your classroom curriculum. Um, and usually I'm right. Typically when I do a workshop, I'll ask a teacher to challenge me. So, okay, thinking about where your curriculum can take your kids, if you could take them anywhere, where would you want to go? And they'll give me a place, and we'll look it up at Street View, and there's usually at least a small handful of 360 images in that area, and they're like, "Wow, I never knew this was available. I could, instead of talking about it and showing them pictures and videos about it, I could virtually take them there and give them that feeling as if they're really standing in that place that we're talking about in our classrooms."
Yeah, that's cool. I actually had a class come into my class the probably last week or so, and they were ESL students, and they were using Google Expeditions and with Google Street View to go to specific landmarks that they picked to describe the the landmarks or the environment. So they had to do a research, and they used Google Street View and Google Expeditions to actually find what they were looking for and take notes of what they observed, because they were using that as part of their actual paper that they were going to write. So
Cool.
it's a different perspective, it's a visual representation that you can connect to a little bit more easier when you see it,
Yeah.
rather than just reading it from, a textbook or even still images from the internet. It doesn't do it justice.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. I did a very similar project with a world geography class recently. That they picked a country that they have been talking about in class, and they took themselves on a virtual field trip um, to that country, and recorded some of the things that they saw in the 360 images that they were looking at. Um, yeah, and it was a very unique perspective. It's more engaging, it's more interesting to virtually travel there than to just Google search websites and look at photo galleries and watch videos about it.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. So you said, because I saw something on Facebook that you did good, that you did some type of project. I think it was fourth graders. Was
Hmm.
that the fourth graders that you just
Yeah,
referred?
yeah. Hmm.
You recorded it. So what did you do to record their findings? Like, is there a record option in Google Street View, or did you use a different app for that?
For
To
well,
record
for
where they were going, I guess.
well, that was just a video that I created of the kids creating their own 360 images with the Street View app. So
Oh,
they went on a field trip to um, a local stream and did some like stream cleanup, and were researching and gathering invasive species of fish and things like that. And part of that project, they're going to recreate their real field trip as a virtual field trip, and turn that into a virtual experience to educate others in the community about the importance of maintaining our streams and keeping them clean and protected from invasive species and things like that.
oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, so they used the Google Street View app to create 360 pictures while they were on their field trip, and they're going to use that in a VR creation tool in a couple of weeks to recreate that experience into a virtual reality.
And what tool are you going to have them use?
I think we're going to use ThingLink. We're not going to use Tour Creator. Um, and the reason for that is we want to include the student videos that they recorded as well. And unfortunately, Tour Creator doesn't allow you to embed videos directly in the tool. but ThingLink does. So we
Okay.
want to take advantage of the video that they also recorded as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, when you're done with that project, I'll be curious to see.
Oh, I'll definitely share it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of what I do with my students, I'm sharing out the process. I'm sharing out the final products. It's important to me, and I feel like it's important for our students to make sure that they have a worldwide audience. That what they're creating goes beyond themselves and their peers in their classroom. So we're
Yeah,
all.
I definitely agree with you there. I think they perform better when they know
Yeah.
there's an audience, so
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah, definitely, share that out because 'cause I'd be curious to see how they did, and I'm always learning something from you, Mike. You're like a bundle of knowledge. So why don't you tell us about your course then?
Sure. Yeah. So, um, because I've been using Street View for quite a number of years now, and I've been using it in a variety of classes, helping teachers expand on their curriculum resources and um, give students a very unique and different perspective about the countries that they're studying or the places that are connected to their curriculum. Um, it's as a tech specialist, it's easy for me. I guess I have that sort of, I don't know, innate
You have
ability
it
to
or
pick
you
up
don't
on
have it.
things quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But I know that it's, and the teachers that I deal with, they're super busy. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm busy, but I know that a classroom teacher is way busier than me. They have so many things on their plate, and it's very difficult to sit down and spend time exploring something new that they're interested in using. It's hard to find that time. It's hard to dedicate what little time they have to learning something new, and so they'll go to conferences, they'll go to workshops um, to learn some of those things. And typically, it's a one-off thing. They'll spend an hour listening to it and maybe using it a little bit, and some of them will pick it up, and some of them won't. And we all learn differently. Some of us benefit greatly from those conference experiences or workshop experiences. I know other teachers that prefer to sit down and watch a video or read an article or an instruction manual or tutorial about it. We all learn differently. And so I'm trying to create different ways to help educators learn about these tools. And so one of my new ventures that I've been focusing on is creating online self-paced courses. I think that's sort of it's been around for a while, but I feel like in education, it's really been picking up pace. You see um, like Casey Bell does online courses. Who else do I know? Alice Keeler does online courses because there's a huge benefit to being able to learn something at your own pace and be able to stop when you need to stop and move faster when you need to move faster and pause to dedicate time to exploring. And so I've developed an online self-paced course to help teachers learn how to use Google Street View. So one, they learn how to just how the app works and how you can use it effectively within the course, and that's all broken down. I break down all the different tools in Street View through very short, typically less than 5 or 10 minute video tutorials on that focus on different tools and how they work and how to use them. And then we get into the classroom integration aspect of it. How do you use something like Street View in your classroom? It's I mean, we always say it's just a tool, right? There's lots of tools in our teacher belt that we have access to, and this is just another one of those tools that we can use. So it's not like you're not going to use Street View for a whole class period. It's going to be one piece of your lesson or activity for the day, either as the hook or a way for kids to explore and gather research and findings about a place. And so we go through in the course. I have a lesson plan template for using Street View and sort of break down um, an effective way of integrating Street View into your existing lesson or your existing curriculum. But then packaged all around the course is a Facebook community, a private Facebook community, so that you're not by yourself. You're not you don't just pay for the course and then you're all alone in the universe, trying to learn this thing by yourself. There's a Facebook community of other people that have taken the course, other people that they're currently in the middle of it, but also me. So I'm there as your expert guide, to help you along the way, to answer any questions you have, to look over a lesson plan that you've put together, um, and you have a community behind you to support you along the way. And that's, I think, is the important piece of this course. Is it's not just something for you to do by yourself, but you have a whole community behind you to help you along the way. And the more people that take the course, the larger, uh, the the bigger the community grows. The more eyes and ears and voices you have, participating in the conversations around the use of Google Street View.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Facebook group that you created was valuable because it let me reflect on my learning, and then you had questions in there to complete certain things, complete certain tasks, and then you were given feedback, and then other people were commenting on the thread as well. So it's a nice dialogue, and actually, when the class is over, I can still have access to that group. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're always a member of the group. You can
Hmm.
always refer back to that group to ask questions and, get information. And you always have that community to fall back on, which is important. That's building your PLN, building your tool belt, and, building up your confidence to use this tool in the classroom as well. So I think it's important.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you take this course, you have unlimited access to the course. It's never going to close. I'm never going to drop you out of the course. And ed tech is always changing, it's always improving. And so as things change, as things get better for the tool and the experiences, I'll be updating that course. So I've already made some additions and updates to it since I opened it last month. And yeah, you have unlimited access to it. You have unlimited access to the resources in there, but most importantly, you have unlimited access to the community. You're always going to be a part of that community even after you finish that course. So you can contribute your ideas, your thoughts to other people's questions. Um, but built into the course, right? There's sections within the course that focus on different aspects of the tool and integration. But at the end of each of those sections, I have a like a Facebook community activity. So once you learn how to do something, I want you to apply that new skill that you've learned and share it with the community. Like one example within the course is to um, you know go find a place that you'd like to visit in your lifetime in Street View and share the unique URL to that Street View image with the community. It's something very simple, but you're applying what you've learned and then you're sharing it with a wider audience. And hopefully there's some conversations and discussions around things that are being shared in the community as well.
And I do have to add to your course that as you and I really like this too because you had the video and you had your screen, you shared your screen, um, and then you had dialogue of your video. So if you're a person that just wants to read what Michael's saying, you can pause it and you can read his script right underneath the video, which was nice because some people, if back to the video, they can actually go back to the transcript and read what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So that I thought was very helpful too in the course. And plus, the course is laid out. How many chapters are there in the course or section?
Um, just
Oh,
jumping
if
in.
you want to share your screen, you can share your
Yeah, I'm
screen.
gonna
But
Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna set myself up here really quick, and then I'll. So I have one, two, three, four, five sections or five chapters, I guess you could call them. Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think it wasn't overwhelming. Like you did a great job breaking it all down and and you built up your lessons accordingly. So it's definitely for a beginner level. And it's nice to know that you did give the Facebook community and the tasks to complete after each chapter. But if you want to learn more about Google Street View, this is a nice class or course to take, because Michael does a really good job going over the basics with you.
Thanks. I just shared my screen. I don't know if you have to select it.
I do not see your screen. I just see your face.
Oh, I have
Oh,
a
wait a minute.
screen
Hold on.
down here.
Oh, I see you. Wait a minute. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
awesome. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, so this is sort of a peek inside the course itself. So it's divided. So there's a getting started with the course section. And before I even get into the app, I think what's important is that uh, you understand the how virtual reality works. Um, and then in the next section, it's all about the terms of service, the privacy policy, because it is a Google tool. It's possible for students to log in, and there are some benefits to logging in, but depending on the age of your students, that it may not be appropriate or legal for them to be logged into the Google Street View app. So I kind of break down the differences of those things. But most importantly, when I start to get into how to use the app, there's a section in there about the health and safety concerns surrounding VR. I think it's important that teachers understand that you don't want to just jump into a tool because it's the newest and greatest thing, but you should understand um, that there might be some consequences. There are health and safety concerns around the use of virtual reality. And I have a section that kind of breaks down those concerns. And then part of the course, um, you get a health and safety in VR script. So this is like the dialogue that I go through when I introduce classes to virtual reality. And so it's the exact words that I use that sort of simplify the lingo and some of the side effects of VR that students may face. So this is just one of the resources that you get um, when you take the course. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, honestly, like I do the same thing with Google Expeditions. I go over a little, safety, because safety's first when you're dealing with kids in your classroom. And when you
Hmm.
have that on there, I was really glad to see that, because it's important. Because sometimes students, they do get dizzy,
Hmm.
they feel sick, and you have to go over all that with them and make them aware of their feelings,
Yeah,
and what to do
definitely.
if they're feeling that way. So,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
yeah, the course is definitely, I'm telling you, I highly recommend it. It's
Thank you.
good,
Appreciate it.
really good. I mean, like I said, I learned a lot from it. Sometimes I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, maybe I should take a refresher. I don't know. Because you're the person to go to when I need answers quickly. So
Well, I guess you kind of bring up a good point that I mentioned earlier that when you take this course, you have unlimited access to it. So we're not going to use Street View every single day of the school year. You might use it for one particular project in the first quarter, and then you might not use it for 4 or 5 months, right? And so if you have this course, it's a great opportunity to use it to go back and refresh yourself when you're ready to use it with the next project. So just like you mentioned earlier, um, each section has a very typically less than 10-minute video that I show the app itself in there. So I'm walking you through what the app experience actually looks like. But then below each video section, I break down the video into chunks, and then I've actually got the timestamps of where that particular part of the video begins. So
yeah,
if you
I
need
I
to,
actually like that part.
yeah,
I like having that transcript part out laid out for me. Definitely. I thought that was definitely helpful.
cool.
Yeah, because if you want to just go back to a specific part in the video, you can find where you left off by looking at the transcript and the time.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And what are you showing us there?
Oh, this is the second to last section is about creating a lesson plan. So once you learn how to use Street View, you should find a way to use it in your class. So this is the lesson plan template that I've created, and you get access to this downloadable template as either a PDF or a Google Slides template that you can use in your classroom, and it sort of breaks down um, you know, uh, how are you going to use it? What are the curriculum connections? What might be your essential questions? How are your students going to access that street view? Are they going to search for it themselves? Are you going to send them a link to a particular street view? And then really breaking down that lesson, in terms of like what will students do while they are there. There should be some type of purpose um, to using Street View to traveling to a particular location, and they should be what they see. They should be applying that in some way, either responding to questions or even just jotting down their observations and what they see, um, or having a conversation with a partner as they're exploring. So there's a section for you to break that down and think really deeply about what students will be doing while they're on that virtual field trip.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice resource to have. Now, what's the website? Like, where do I have to go to find all of this information, or even, you know, how to sign up
Yeah, good question. So it'll be in your wakelet and your yeah well your
in the show
like
notes?
the show notes, but it's courses .arvreduhub.com, or you could just go to arvreduhub.com, and there's a page linked up to the courses.
Okay, so the course will be listed there, and then I can enroll and start it right away, correct?
Yeah, it's the course costs $75, but I didn't think of this beforehand, but I think what I'll do for your audience, Kim, is I'll create a discount code that'll knock off $25 off the price. If
Oh, great.
video, and so we'll put that in the show notes resource.
Yeah, that'll be great. So that'll be nice. Oh, I have someone here on the live
You're
stream.
watching live.
Oh yeah, there's people watching live, Michael. So this is definitely a first for me. So I have someone asking you, where is the Street View course? So someone's interested.
That's awesome.
So definitely, I will have the information posted on the Sweet Talk website, in the Wakelet, and all of the information will be in this episode's Wakelet collection on the Sweet Talk website. So you can go to thesweettalk.com. That's SUITE talk.com, and go to the episode and podcast page.
Cool. And do they see my our names down here below our heads? Do they see this?
Yeah, I'm assuming they do because
Yeah.
I see it.
Awesome. Yes, if you see it, the link to the page is right there
I'm
below.
actually going to type that in here. So say it again, ARVREDU hub.com,
Hub.com.
right?
Yeah, is the main site. I got tons of resources on that website. It's all things AR and VR for the classroom. It's my free educator resource. I've got tons of projects, class projects, templates. Um, I've got a VR app database and a 360 camera database up there. The link to the course is on that website, and it's sort of like I'm trying to create a one-stop shop for educators to find anything and everything they need to use AR and VR in their classrooms.
Yeah, so this is great. I mean, I'm so glad that you were able to be on the show and explain to my audience about your course, because I really feel that, like I said before, it is a hidden gem. Google Street View is embedded in Google Earth and Google Maps, but like you said, people probably used it but don't really know that they're using it, because their official app, their initial app that they went to could have been Google Earth or
Yeah,
Google
yeah,
Maps. So they're thinking that they're using that app when really it's just another geo tool called Street View.
yeah. And the unique thing about the Street View app that I didn't mention earlier is that it allows you to convert those 360 images into an immersive virtual reality experience, so that you can use a VR headset in order to fully immerse your students in that virtual field trip.
Yeah, so like Michael is the go-to guy definitely for AR and VR in education. He's my go-to guy when I need something answered. I definitely ask Michael because he knows, he's the expert in this area. Um, so I really appreciate you coming on and sharing all of that. information in your course and your resources, because I really think it's important for people to know about it.
Thank you.
And our viewer here said thanks. So
Thanks for watching live.
you're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Appreciate
Yeah,
YouTube.
I'm telling you, I'm loving this StreamYard. So right now, this is the second time I'm using StreamYard, and it's so easy. The interface is very clean. I never did. I always did live streaming before with Google Hangouts on Air, but I never did live commenting or anything along those lines because it was just too complicated. Right now, I'm in StreamYard and I'm doing all of that very easily. So it's really cool. I'm really thankful to Chris Nessie for giving me uh, the tip about this tool because
Yeah, great.
he really opened up a new path for me with this tool. So I'm thankful for him. Anyway, let me get off of that subject about StreamYard and wrap up the show. So as always, I'm learning something new. So let me share my screen. Um, okay, hold on. Let me know if you can see my screen, Michael, okay?
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so if you want to visit the Sweet Talk website, you can go to thesweettalk.com. That's SUITE talk.com. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, join my Facebook community as well. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my newsletter, and also I'm on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and Google Podcasts. The latest episode will always be on my homepage. If you would like to be a guest on my show, fill out the guest form, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Um, you can see who's coming up on my show by the calendar here. And basically, if you want to see any past episodes, you can go to the episode and podcast list. And this is where all of the episodes information will appear here. So the show notes for tonight's show is a Wakelet collection. So you can certainly go into that and find the information that Michael left. And basically, that's it.
Awesome. I'll let you. I just created a coupon code while you were talking for your audience. So if you use
Awesome.
Sweet Talk, it'll knock off $25 off the price of the course. You get
Oh,
it.
that's great, Michael. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
That would be awesome. So if you're gonna complete the course, make sure you use the coupon code the Sweet Talk, right?
Just Sweet Talk. Sweet Talk.
Sweet Talk. Okay, use the coupon code Sweet Talk so you can get the discount and get the course for $50 instead of $75.
Mhm.
And just in case you didn't, I don't know if Michael mentioned it or not, but you do get a PD certificate at the end.
You do.
So
Yep.
yeah, so
You get a bunch of downloadable resources. Yeah, you do get a professional development certificate at the end. I don't offer any credits for anything, but it's proof that you completed the course.
yeah.
For whatever employment purposes.
Yep, definitely. I know I need it for New Jersey, so
Awesome.
it's always good to have those certificates on hand. So I'm going to wrap up the show. If anybody has any questions, you can always find Michael on Twitter. You can always email him, go to his website, and ask him questions about his course, and I'm sure he will be happy to answer them. He is a really nice guy. So until next time, guys, thanks for being on, Michael, and I will see you later.
Thank you so much, Kim. It was great being
Bye.
here. Aloha, everyone.
Wait, how do you do it? Aloha?
Aloha.
There you go. Oops, there we go.